What's going on, everybody? We are live in the cut. For those who are joining us for the first time, we are live at the holiday Fiesta festival pop-up. I get tongue twisted every time I say this. But shout out to Project Barkada and Joey and everyone for putting this together. We have a bunch of amazing creatives. Like one of my people that I just met and actually saw just perform that has been killing it. The homie, literally my homie Jake on Instagram. But you know, what we do on this show is we help people get from point A to point B, whether you're an artist, whether you're an entrepreneur, you know, whatever background that you are pursuing. And you know, you obviously are in the music scene. But for the people that don't know who you are, just, you know, you can look to the camera and tell a little bit about what you do and who you are.
Okay, thank you. Good energy. My name is Jake Gatsby. My mother named me Jacob. I go by Jake Gatsby on stage.
Is Gatsby your real last name?
No.
Oh, I thought to say that's fire.
No way. Hell yeah, fire. It's just it's like my favorite fictional character. There's a darkness in that story. But
we'll get to that.
Jake Gatsby. I'm a musician, songwriter. Just trying to make sure that music is forever for me. And then of course, you know, besides that, trying to make sure I'm helping bring people along, kind of similar to what you're doing. But I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not helping the people around me.
I love that. How long have you been doing music?
I've been writing since I was like 8, bro. I've been writing since I was like 8, and then really performing for real for like 3 years. I performed prior to that, but it wasn't, you know, really, I wasn't super into it. Okay. I wasn't like giving it everything. And then over the last 3 years, I've done a lot of shows. And then even like right before the pandemic, it was busting for me. And then, you know, everything happens the way it's supposed to.
I'm sure. So, you know, I just saw you perform. Obviously, you put a lot of time into your craft. Is it all you do? Do anything else on the side?
I'm a project manager as well.
Project manager?
Yeah.
And a rapper at night.
Yeah. It might be 50-50 at this point, based on how much time we're spending these days.
Right. And you're out here from Chicago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're obviously taking it serious. What was the transition like from your, I guess your day job, if it's what you do with the project manager during that day? What was that transition like? So, I guess I give you an example. For me, I'm a barber by trade, actually. That's what I do full time. This, you know, what I do with the podcast, this is just, if I was cutting your hair, this is the normal conversation I'm gonna have with you.
Yeah.
But
I just got it.
Oh, fresh. From Chicago or from out here?
From Chicago.
Oh.
But I think we DM'd maybe. I DM'd the...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yo, I might get a cut out there.
Yeah. No, that's that. I got you.
Yeah.
But I say that to say, it took me a lot of courage and a lot to like, yo, I'm gonna be a barber and I'm not gonna do anything else. Basically, transitioning from a hobby to more like, yo, I'm actually gonna, like, I'm gonna put some time into this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure it's fun being out here, but there's also a purpose behind it, like you mentioned. So, what's that like for you?
For me, it's like, I love this more than anything. I love sharing stories, I love telling stories, I like telling my stories. Because I think primarily, it's like kind of was like a no-brainer for me because I like seeing people happy. I like seeing people like feel heard or feel seen or feel loved, you know?
Love that.
So I've been trying to make sure that my music does that a little bit, even if it's a sad story. When you hear a sad story that you can relate to, you don't feel alone.
Right.
So and even the turn up stuff is obviously turn up stuff. So you have fun, but deciding to put more time into it and a lot more emphasis and effort into it, money, and tears, sweat, and time over everything.
Right.
It came kind of naturally because you know I'm a product of therapy for sure. So like,
explain that.
So I feel like I didn't really know myself as well as I do now that I've done therapy. And that exposure that I got from being in therapy myself made me want to perform more because I almost cursed. I know people aren't in therapy as much. Yeah, I know motherfuckers aren't in therapy like that.
Right.
So like if I could talk about it on stage a little bit, share these stories that are pretty heartfelt and deep, maybe it'll encourage that. So it was, and then by doing that, it felt like therapy. When I'm up there, it feels like therapy.
Nice.
So it wasn't like a conscious thing about, all right, am I doing this or no? It was just like slowly lending itself to me giving it more and more and more and more because it feels authentic.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you bring that up. That it's therapy that kind of helped you flip that switch. Because I've been asking a lot of the common questions I've been asking everybody is, when you're releasing your first piece of work, the opinions of others and different things start popping up. Oh man, your project, man, you have a good job, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
And for someone who's just getting started, also as well as an artist, whether it's if they're in the music industry or whatever industry they are as an entrepreneur, what kind of advice are you giving that person that is that's like, I'm worried to put my work out there, and but I do have something cooking, so what would you say to that person?
Trying to imagine that.
It's a little bit different because you weren't.
Yeah.
It was more like a therapy thing for you, so you were doing it regardless.
That's right. It doesn't matter if anybody's listening or if anybody's performed or if anybody's at my shows,
right.
If anybody plays my music. Like, we talk about this. Like, I'm doing it no matter what.
Okay.
But I would say two things that are a little contradictory. One is that life is short, but also life is long. So even if whatever you're doing flops or it doesn't work out the way you think, there's still so much to do. Like, we're reinventing ourselves all the time. So like, if you feel like it's authentic and you feel like it's serving you in a way in your heart, and you really feel like that, then like you got to get over that because there's only so many things that we can do like that are authentic to us and that feel fulfilling to us.
That's real.
So if you find one, go crazy, ASAP, let it fail.
Right.
Because you ain't gonna know.
Let it fail. Yeah. I respect that. So last thing, before I let you go here is, as an artist, there's a creative responsibility that comes to it, but there's also a business aspect behind it because you gotta eat, right? Like flying here to New York from Chicago isn't free, right? Like, and all these different things. What is a lesson that you learned, or what is something that you can share with the artists in the beginning as far as kind of the business aspect of this journey, or at least learning how to scale this journey?
I would share, and it's something that I'm learning too, so it's not like here's what you gotta do.
Right. No, but this is the best part.
Here's what I'm trying to do. Is every time you have the opportunity to do the thing that you love, execute. Like, be a professional, treat people well, bring the energy no matter what, right? Like if you're cutting hair and like, you can give a good cut, but I'm still gonna know how you made me feel while I was in your chair. Right?
Exactly.
So like, from a business standpoint, carrying yourself the way that, whoever raised you would have intended, however they raised you, don't matter, but the way that you should be, treating people that way is the best business thing you could do. And number two, I think is like, think it's not always about the thing that you're getting in return, right? So if I didn't get brought out here, right? If I didn't get, say I didn't get travel, say they didn't pay me to fly here, right? Say they didn't, then you still have to think about, is there a value to me being there? Can I parlay it with any other things that would make it make sense to me? Can I get in the studio and do some songs? Can I network with people? Can I expand my reach in another way that makes it whatever it costs to fly or do whatever you gotta do or whatever it might be? You gotta weigh that value for yourself, and you're the only one who has to live with your decisions, man. So like, just be about your business, but also it ain't always the thing that looks you in the face like, oh, I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Because I'm vehemently like preaching that it's not always the money. Right. Because I've done so much free stuff.
Right.
And it leads to these things that give you more opportunity to connect with people like you.
This is it.
This feels great, by the way, thank you. And all of those things lead to these things, and it doesn't just happen where you're just like, oh, I know I'm nice. If you're full of pride, bro, you know.
I love that. I love that. And that's real too, because in the barber world, it's really the same thing. I'm giving free haircuts my whole first year. I'm like giving free haircuts, just trying to prove myself, you know. So, but it led to so many different things, and the conversation is just like this, you know, which is why we even here. So, one, Jake, I appreciate you for being here.
Man.
You know, and sharing your story. You know, hopefully, you know, we can connect and get the full story one day.
Yeah.
You know, but I definitely don't want to waste too much time. I guess last thing we could do is let people know where they can find you, any projects you got coming up, and then we'll do something after. I'll pause it, but then we'll go from there.
Jake Gatsby, you can find me on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, whatever. At Jake Gatsby, my homie Jake on Instagram. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you, man. This is, again, it's something that I can sense how this feels. It feels great. I'm gonna look back on this. My girls taking some photos for me. So I'm like, you know, it feels good, and I appreciate the love, man. This is a relationship.